We ready, babe? All right,
Oh,
we're ready. Welcome you guys to our wine hour, wine ambassador, DTC ambassador. Sorry.
Wine of the month, love.
Yeah.
We have our direct to consumer. I should just say that direct to consumer marketing. A wine hour is right now, which is one of my favorite things. You guys, this is a passion. I always talk about this a little bit, but this was a passion project for Rory and I, also for our other owner, Peter. It was just really something that we were very passionate about. We really wanted, and we just made it happen. You guys, it's one of those long-term goals that we talk about that we wanted. Rory wanted a wine label. And so we set that goal and we just worked towards it. We didn't know how we were going to achieve it, right? That's the thing about long-term goals. So when we set that goal, it was probably a 20-year goal until it came to fruition. But it doesn't mean you give up on your dreams, right? And we're all about helping you create your dreams through time freedom here. So yeah, definitely we'll go into that in another hour. I will be doing some time management training very soon. So anyway, on to our amazing wine though, you guys, because I could talk about this forever, but I'm going to turn it over to our amazing MSI and leader here, Jackie Bellavia. She has been an amazing asset. She just retired recently from her full-time job to become full-time here. We are so blessed to have her. So I'm going to turn the time over to her and then we can go back and talk. Go, Jackie, take it away, beautiful Jackie.
Well, thank you, Tanya. You're always so kind with your kind words. So I can't hear you.
You're paused there for muted for a minute, Jackie. No one should put Jackie in the corner. Can't hear you, babe. I don't know. We're having some technical difficulties. Let me Jackie, I might have to speak for you, which I don't know if I can do, but nobody can speak for Jackie. Jackie, I'm going to mute you, and then I'm going to unmute you and see. Can you? Well, I guess I'm stepping in for Jackie for a minute. Let me know when you have some sound there, Jackie, but like I always say, I can always talk about wine because hello, my name is Tanya and I love wine. And what we decided to do is we used to have a wine and dine Wednesday where we took some of that time over to our new brain food education, which is also under the umbrella of direct to consumer marketing. And so I wanted to do a wine education hour as well still. And the best thing about educating you with wine is really developing your palate, your taste, because that is something that you acquire over time. It's not something that happens. People think it does, but it really doesn't. It's something that you have to pair, you have to try, you have to sample, and you have to do all different kinds of things. And it really develops your palate. And when we talk about developing your palate, what it is we really some people will taste wine and you'll have like a little taste of something in it. And it's not in the wine itself. It's just how your brain relates to that taste, right? So we just did on Thursday, we did a family wine and dine dinner, which we do once a month now, where Rory and I and Peter will be tasting different wines and pairing them with foods and kind of giving you guys ideas as well. And we want you guys to bring your own food, your own meal, and join and dine with us. The next one will be, I believe, is June 15th. And it's you guys, because of all the different time zones, I get confused. But it's 6 Mountain. I know that for 100% sure. So adjust from there. So I've got 7 Central and 8 Eastern, and that would make it 5 Pacific. But anyway, so you guys can join there. But we're going to head on over. We asked Karen Needham to join us to share a wine pairing, a taste, and kind of let us know the different tasting notes and everything. So we're going to head over to her kitchen. Karen, if you can take it away, please.
All right. Can you see me okay?
Yes.
Can you see the counter?
Yes.
Okay, just checking, because I can't tell from here. Anyway, one of the things I came up with is obviously I'm always looking for ways to use tools properly, even if it's in the cooking. And you saw my latest episode with power tools, but I've discovered my new kitchen power tool is my George Foreman grill. And this happened when I was over at a friend of mine's house and she was making sandwiches and she threw them in the grill. So they came out like paninis and I'm like, oh, wow, this is cool. So what I came up with is a French toast, using French toast as the bread, French toast breakfast sandwich. So I've got, I cheated. I bought frozen French toast because it's much simpler. I've got spray butter to put on it. I've cooked up the eggs ahead of time and the sausage ahead of time, mostly so this would go smoothly. But while you've been talking, I've actually been doing my food prep for the week. I've been making sandwiches as we go. And that way, if you came early, I was in position to go. So we got the George Foreman grill and I have my new wizard wand that I went out in the garage this morning and found. I'm waiting for the software download and I'm trying to figure out what the spell is that you put on the George Foreman so it cooks faster, but I'll come up with something. Anyway.
Let me know when you know.
Yeah, I will. So I'm assembling here. I've got one piece of toast in there down. I put the eggs on. I was going to use an egg ring, but I learned that you actually have to heat up the skillet so that when you pour the eggs in the ring, they don't run out all over the thing underneath. So we'll use scrambled eggs for this morning. I put the vegetables in with it. And the cool thing about this is you can make it whatever you want. I chose eggs with green peppers and onions in them. I'm not a tomato person, or a mushroom person, but you could put just about anything in there. You could leave out the eggs, you could leave out the sausage, you could use ham, whatever you want. You can make up your French toast ahead of time. Anyway, so I just put it in there, throw my cheese on, throw on this thing, and look how tall this sandwich is.
Wow, wow.
But you put it in, the magic spell, presto cookie-o, I guess. I got half a book left and I'm done with the Harry Potter series, by the way.
Nice. Yeah, we went to the Universal and Karen was with us there. She read the books to go to know what Harry Potter was all about. That's true dedication there, girl.
Well, I didn't want to go in there and be asking stupid questions like, what's this, what that? So at least I had a clue,
Yeah, yeah. So she went on the rides. You went on the Harry Potter rides too, so.
No, we were going to try to do the Hayward motorcycle ride, but we got stuck and had to come off. But all it means is I need to go back. That's all. So, and I'm choosing to pair this with the Discovery's Moscato.
Oh, wow.
Okay. It was no opening instructions today. Chris covered that in the last one because I opened it last night to test this. So we're good.
Perfect.
Anyway, so I've got one cooking, but I already have one out, and this is how it comes out, if you can see. This is my kitchen weapon, otherwise known as a knife. Slice it up, and as you can see, ooey gooey.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah. So
Tanya, can you hear me now?
Yes, Jackie, there you are, ma'am.
I am so sorry. I had to get a new computer. I really apologize, but y'all go ahead. You're doing great.
Okay. Anyway, so this is what we've got. And I'm going to try it with the Moscato. I said I have one going. I have 2 or 3 more. This is my food prep for the week. I live alone, so cooking for 1 or 2 and trying to have healthy meals is always a challenge. And so when I discovered the George Foreman, you can select sandwiches in there. I can make them up and have them all week, which then helps my time management better, because I'm having troubles with that because, well, it'll be better once I finish the last Harry Potter book. Anyway,
we can talk too, Karen. I can help you with that. I can help you.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there, that, and I have to schedule decluttering, but that's another story. So anyway, and you can see here, it's starting to smush down. Can you see that?
Yes.
Nice and toasty. Don't over toast it, and voila, I will pull this one out. You can see nice and hot and ooey gooey. And we'll set it over here. I'll put it in sandwich bags and save it for later. But are you ready to check this out?
Yes, I'd love to hear your tasting notes.
They may not be very scientific. I'll just describe it because I don't use all the big wine words. Anyway. This is awesome. I tried 2 different kinds of French toast. One that came with cinnamon sugar on it, and the other one was just the classic. And this is really nice. It's got a little bit of sweetness. And then you have a little bit of, I'm not sure what it is with the sausage. It's a contrast. And the cheese, you know how everybody says that bacon is the duct tape of food? I've decided it's cheese.
I actually agree with you on that.
It holds everything together. So I ended up putting extra shredded cheese in there to glue the eggs to the bottom of the sandwich, and
Yeah.
Anyway, this, I'm telling you, this is really good. I had one last night. Oh my gosh. And I'm not big into tasting and trying new things, so that's why there's no mushrooms or tomatoes in here. So anyway.
It's okay. Baby steps, Karen.
Hey, I wouldn't have been doing this a year ago.
I know.
And I picked the Moscato, one, because it's my favorite, and 2, because this is a brunch meal. It's a little lighter. I did do some Googling, and they were suggesting Moscatos for brunch. And it's a little bit of a sweet wine, and I think it picks up the sweetness of the French toast.
I'm curious, what are your tasting notes with the sausage and the wine? Because a lot of sausage has like that fennel and the sage in it.
Okay, what I've got is I use the Bob Evans original sausage. I got it in the tube.
Yes.
So I could make the patties. Actually, I was using the egg ring to smush the patties out so that they'd all be the same size.
Yeah.
The sausage adds a little bit of spice to it.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Okay.
Because
I'm just curious about the Moscato with the sausage. Have a bite and taste. Tell me.
Hmm.
You need to start making these recipes, Jackie, with them.
Yeah,
I can taste it.
absolutely. And just for you all to know, I did post her page. She wrote a phenomenal page about her recipe pairing. So be sure y'all grab that. And we do need to try the recipes and try the wines. I mean, that's what this is all about, right, Tanya?
Absolutely.
I'm not sure what you're looking for tasting notes, but I don't know that it brings out or hides anything. It's the sausage has a bit of a strong taste, but it's countered by the sweetness of the French bread. It's a good combination. That's all.
That's what I'm looking for right there. It mellows it out, right? A little bit and kind of like tones the spice.
Yeah, mellows it out.
Mhm.
Of course, I just like the Moscato. I mean, I was not a wine drinker when we started this, but now I like the Moscatos, the Rosés, the Pinot Gris. I've tried the Pinot Noir. I've tried the Malbec. Actually, when my friend says she's cooking, I said, okay, I'm going to bring a wine. We're going to try it, and off we go. So I'm trying more and more of them.
Perfect. And you'll find you guys too, as the way as you try them with different foods, it does absolutely change the taste of the wine. Absolutely. So anyway, thank you so much, Karen. It looks amazing.
Well, and one thing really cool that she chose the Moscato wine, Tanya, is, the Moscato, and it's pronounced Moscato, okay? But it is really, it is an Italian name for Muscat Blanc, and it is one of the world's oldest grapes. They actually use that grape for raisins as well. Yeah. So if you are new to wine drinking, this would be a great wine, or if you're not so much yourself, but if you're introducing our wines to someone and they're like, oh, I'm not a wine drinker, or I like the sweet or whatever. This is a phenomenal wine because it's a lighter wine. It doesn't have quite as much alcohol content, but our wines, we don't do for the alcohol content anyway. It's because of the way that our wines are fermented, which is naturally. Right. And so this would be a good choice, a great choice to share with someone to get them started, in my opinion.
I agree with you on that. Definitely agree with you. And also, you guys, that's why we talk about, like, I can take anyone that's not a wine drinker and I can make them one just by the way that you introduce it and the way that you pair it, right? That's Jackie. Actually, you went into that wonderfully, because that's what I have done before with people. Is I've started with like Moscato or a Pinot Grigio or a Rosé. You can start with the very milder wines, sweeter taste, naturally sweet. Ours are naturally sweet. Nothing's been added to them. And you start with those, and then you can kind of start to slowly introduce your palate to more of the deeper wines. The best wine for red wine to go into is the Pinot Noir, of course. We have the Niletti. We also have More Than Muse, I believe, coming out. Oh, maybe I wasn't supposed to say that, but we have one coming out, and we have a couple other things happening so you could start from those and kind of pair into those, and that Pinot Noir goes with, it's a red wine, but it's a very to me, especially the Nile Eddy that we have, it's more of a fruit forward. It has that fuller for like the plum taste to it. So it's a very natural easing into the red wines. And we have higher tannins in some of our cabs and things. So you're going to taste more of that deeper, richer textures. But
one thing you won't find is whenever that you drink our wines, guys, you're not going to get the headaches or the what I call the jittery in your stomach, because our wines are cultivated for years. We do not mass produce our wines. We're a boutique winery, and when the wine's gone, it's gone. And when the next varietal comes out, that wine is going to taste different, because we don't put additives or contaminants or all that stuff. We take great care to cultivate our wines naturally. And that's another plus to the wine club, because, and I'm not bashing the mass produced wines. Okay. Some people love them. They drink them. They complain about the headaches, but they're cheap. Okay. But those wines are mass produced. Those wines are what we call a wine punch, because they are done by a recipe. It's all about the net bottom line dollar to the big conglomerates. So when you join a membership such as ours, you are getting a phenomenal wine for really a very wholesale price, because of the way that Tanya and Rory and Peter have built this. So bear that in mind as well.
Yeah, I also want to touch on a little bit more of that, is what Jackie's saying is, you guys, we're the only wine club that I know that actually works with the farmers. I mean, we work with the growers. So you guys, I'm all about that. America's big dream about working hard and building for yourself. And that's what we do here phenomenally, I think, with Triple R. But we work directly with the farmers. So we give the money back to them. We aren't supporting big conglomerates, big organizations, which if you guys like to, again, that's fine. But I'm all about helping the little man step up, right? So we help the farmers, we help them grow and develop their wine as well. It keeps them in business, keeps them. And a lot of times they've been doing this generation upon generation upon generation. One of the farmers we went and talked to, he was talking to us about how he survived prohibition, how they hid it, and they would have code words. They had another farm, and they would call up and ask for a different specific thing, and it was a code word for wine, bottles of wine that they wanted to order. And it's just kind of the secret thing that they did. And he honored his grandfather and his father's legacy, coming from, that specific vineyard came from Italy. They immigrated here from Italy and grew the wines here. So it was just like so interesting to hear about that. And a lot of people have lost the wine knowledge because of prohibition. That they were quick to smash the wine and all that, and they didn't understand that it's really a digestive aid. I mean, you guys, I have a very sensitive stomach, and I have a hard time digesting certain foods. And when I went to the doctor, my own doctor, so I'm not a doctor, y'all can consult your own doctor. They asked me, have you tried pairing it with wine, a little bit of wine to help help aid you in your digestion? And I thought, well, okay. At that time, I wasn't as much because my stomach was so sensitive. I had kind of scaled back on the drinking of wine. But I noticed as soon as I started to add just a small glass of wine with my meal, how much that helped my digestive. My stomach wouldn't hurt after each meal. And again, I am not a doctor, so I am not saying drink. You all go to your own doctor. Go ahead,
But Tanya, another thing too, and that, I'm glad you brought up that point, because my great grandmother, I'm full-blooded Italian. I've been drinking wine as a child. Okay, we drank very small sips, but I can remember my great grandparents and my grandparents drinking a very small glass of wine every night. And there's something said for that, guys, because it's true. And in most recent months, a couple of years, just so you know, I'm not a doctor either, but my older sister has macular degeneration. And so I had gone to the eye doctor to see if I still had the same thing. And in talking with him, we were talking about eye vitamins and this and that. And he said, Jackie, do you drink red wine? And I said, as a matter of fact, I do. And he said, add that to your diet every night. So I'm telling you, if you look back in time over these remedies and how the past generations used natural things for healing. Wine is one of them, and it is very effective. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you my experience, and I do have a little glass of wine every night to help with my
And
eyes.
I can add to that, I've noticed now that we've got all these devices that can track our sleep. If I have just a little bit of a glass of wine with dinner, boy, do I sleep well that night.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the data backs it up, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Jackie, I'm half Italian, only half, guys. But according to my grandmother,
That's okay, as long as you have
if you're
one
a
drop,
drop,
baby.
you're
One
all. But anyway.
drop, one drop. That's all it takes.
But yeah, I'm only half that. She immigrated here when she was pregnant with my father. My father's first generation American, which is why I have such a love for America, right? I'm the first. I'm the first granddaughter to go to college and all that stuff. So it's really important to me, the love of my country. But anyway, yeah, she would do the same thing. She would have a dessert though. I've spoken about it before. She would like take a little piece of fruit and grill it, and then she put it in her wine and sip that at night before bed. That was like her nightcap is what she would do. And she said that's what her mother did and her mother did. And it was just something, and she told me it was just a beauty recipe. And my grandmother lived to 98. And you guys, she had hardly any gray hair and the most beautiful skin. And she said that was a beauty secret. That was a tip that she would have. So that and olive oil, she'd rub olive oil on her face. So, but yeah, she just said that was a thing. So yeah, I've forgotten about that, Jackie. So thank you. But yeah, wine is amazing. And this wine club, let's talk a little bit about the wine club specifically. Do you want to, Jackie, or you want me? Go ahead.
You can go if you want, or I can't. Go ahead, girl. You go ahead.
I don't need to talk all the time, you guys, but like I said, I can. But yeah, what we have here, what I think is, it's such an amazing club because of what we do. You guys, it's all freshly made and we don't rush it. When the wine is ready, the wine is ready. So we trust the advice of those who are award-winning. You guys, the people that are making our wine are award-winning winemakers. They've won several awards into different competitions and things. So we trust their advice. So when they say it's ready, it's ready. But that being said, Rory and I and Peter do get to go taste the wine and make sure it's ready before bottling. So, we'll be making a quick trip out to Napa here soon to test.
I keep telling you, I'm going to get in your suitcase one time and go with you. I'm going to sneak. I'm just a little bitty person. I can sneak.
Well, I have a couple of ideas about that, Jackie. So that might be happening. It might be helping you bring along some new ones without the labels or something. She earned a little
Don't tease
extra,
me.
y'all.
I'll just show up. I'm just going to show up in Napa and start hitchhiking, man. I need to find this winery, please. This vineyard.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, we have so much exciting stuff going on though for this club. We're just it's the seat at the table, Rory says, you guys, and it really is. I love Rory has these little sayings that I think are just so phenomenal. All roads lead to wine is one of it. And the other one is it's liquid art in a glass. And for me, that is 100% what we honor by what we do here it is liquid art. And it's the glass. It's generations of knowledge in a glass. So.
And if you do any research at all and you find the history, wine's been around since Jesus, right? But really, if you take a deep dive into it and the history surrounding it, it is fascinating. And we try to educate here as much as we can and give you little nuggets here and there. But it is a food. It is to be drank with a food and to broaden your palate, but it does have, health benefits and our winery, because of the care and the way that Rory and Tanya and Peter have built this, you're not going to find wines anywhere in your local grocer or anything like that to even compare. And if you do happen to get one, it's going to be hundreds of dollars and then you don't know what you're getting. But one tip too, Tanya, I was reading about Prohibition and I'm glad you talked about that. Because when Prohibition happened, it just about wiped out totally the wine industry. I mean, it was gone, guys. There was none. And the ones that restarted had a really hard struggle, and so we've lost years. Whereas if you go to Europe or Australia and those different countries, they are far more ahead of us of how the wines have grown over the years, and that's something that we lost, and it's very, very sad.
It's super sad. Well, because if you guys have just to understand a little bit of background about the roots of the grapevines, they're very old. They have to be aged because you cannot drink the grapes from the first several years of the vine, right? So those are owned. A lot of them are they transplant different things into the roots to grow. So it's very, very specific. It's super. So they destroyed not only the wine, but they killed the vines, which is what was so hard about it. And that's why for a long time, America, they would laugh at us as wine owners when we'd go to competitions. It was always France winning, occasionally Italy. Those were the ones that were always winning the competitions. So when America actually just wiped the board, when we finally wiped the board over there, it was a big win for us. And now if you mention Napa anywhere, people know it's good wine. We are winner. We can uphold now. She's right. It killed, and that's why it was so hard. They had to bring vines back from Europe back over here to restart our vineyards, and we help support and all that as well. So it's super, super important. And I want to talk just a little bit more before we have Rory on here. I'm trying to give him a little bit more time because he's getting ready. But you guys, every year we do a wine label winner. We have different competitions. It's not just the competition that you see on the side when you log in. It's also behind the scenes. It's the team growth as well. So that's always going to play into it. But we're going to be doing things a little bit differently this year. And I'm just going to give you all this little sneak peek because you're here. So we are going to be doing something. It's going to be announced very soon. We're coming up with an event and a venue for that. So that's going to be happening probably towards the end of this year. Again, I will know very shortly. And we have another wine label winner. We haven't tallied everything out quite yet. It's almost. It was if you guys saw the screen go blank, was because that was when we were going to end our competition, but we have extended it back out. But that was just for the wine label winner. That's why it went white. We reset it. So we've already got a wine, so we can make sure we have to get the label approved, and everything has to be properly to roll out a new wine, right? A lot of you guys probably don't know that. And also I wanted to touch on the aspect of our wine labels, you guys. So we are in the process of changing them. We are always going to honor our original wines, which were the Ricord, the Antonio, the Tanya, and the Discovery is also one of ours, and the More Than Muse. So those are ours. And then we have our leadership winner labels, which we have the Niall Eddy, the Donna Walker, Deanna Young, and then we have another one here that's going to be released here shortly. So we have those. We're always going to do that. So I want to tell you guys this because I see a lot of comments about when will I get new wine? The wine is there. We buy it in batches because we honor our commitment to the farmers. When it's gone, it's gone. But you guys, honestly, our wine sells out. So it's really amazing wine, but it's not the same wine. I want you guys to realize that. Jackie touched on that. But it has different years on the label if you ever look. So it's what we were able to harvest in that year, what we were able to process in that year. So even though the label is the same, it's not the same wine. And Jackie, you touched on that beautifully, I think. A lot goes into growing these grapes, and it's amazing. Even when you take the same farmer, the same grapes, it's going to taste completely different because it's how much sun did they get? Also, the fires in California affect the taste of the grape, how much they water it. What do they use for natural preservatives? A lot of our farmers, they use like chickens and things to preserve the vines because they eat the bugs off the vines. So we use it all. I don't know if we can use the term, clean, but it is. But we have to be certified to use that. And we have never, I don't think we've gone that process, but it's all natural. It's all everything. We don't use pesticides on the grapes. So a lot of things go into that. Some of the farmers believe they should starve the grape to make it a sweeter. Some of them they overwater it to give it more of a full body taste. So there's just a lot of things that go into it, and they play around with it too, you guys. So when you see the same wines that you're getting, yeah, we're going to drink these up, and then we'll get more. But the next year, the next batch, it's going to be a different wine. It's not going to be the
and
same.
You want it to. That's the beauty of wine tasting, guys. You want to experience how it is grown, or what are the different flavors in it. You don't want it to be a recipe where it tastes the same. That's not what wine is all about, and that's what we are trying to educate on. So it's very important for you to understand that. But what I will tell you, and you've heard Rory and Tanya say this many times, if you get a wine in your shipment that you really like, you need to sign yourself in to that back office and go get you a case so you have that particular wine. And you get that at a discounted price, which is good. But personally, I look forward to the different varietals because now that my palate has grown, because trust me, I was a big old cab snob and thought that's all I could drink in the world until I really started being educated and understanding how all this works and what the differences are and how delicious they are. Mm-hmm. And then when you pair it with your food, it's like, wow. So love the journey, love the experience. That's what we're trying to do. This is a wine club, education club for a reason, because we want you to broaden your palate. And if we gave you the same thing all the time, that's what you're going to get. And that's not what it's all about.
I totally agree, you guys. It is an education program. And also because Rory and I are behind it and we worked the field that you guys, we grew up in this kind of direct to consumer marketing thing. What's what we grew up in. So it's actually where we first met, was at a meeting to do this kind of thing. So we've actually grown up in this. So because of that and the love that we have for the boots on the ground people, like all of you guys, our compensation plan is out of this world. And I'm just going to touch on it for a moment. Come to our Monday opportunity calls. Rory will go into depth about that, or me, or one of our MSIs, but we'll go into depth more about it. But you guys, we're giving you half of the money. So when you have a sign up, you get half. That's why Rory calls it a seat at the table. It's one of the reasons why it's our first anchor offer, is because we're giving that away. The company loses money to make sure you get the love that you need because you're building and growing that person. And in turn, you're going to help them build a team. But what I like about wine so much so is that most everybody drinks it. If they don't, they want to. If they don't understand it, they want to. Just look at Karen. She mentioned she wasn't a big wine drinker. She didn't have a lot of education behind it. Now she's starting, she dabbled in it. And now she's even pairing it with something she wouldn't have even tried before. She mentioned that. And guess what? It's educated her, and it's now her palate's being educated, and she can share that. She even mentioned she brought a bottle of wine to a friend's house to taste together. How great is that? Now she has those memories. Karen, you should write a page on that, by the way, honey. And she has those memories as well. I've talked about it many times at my kids' weddings. We had certain wine, right? I just went to our friend family. He's really family, Niall, his wedding. And of course we had his wine, the Niall Eddy wine. So now I have those memories associated with that wine. And it's phenomenal. Now we really try to give you guys everything that we could think of to help you guys grow your teams. So by everybody, a lot of people drinking it, most of the time, I don't know, everyone knows at least one person in their family that will try and support you. I mean, you can reach outside if you want to. I mean, we provide you guys the lead so that you don't have to tap your more market, but it doesn't mean you don't have to share. Doesn't mean you can't share that love and sign them up as a customer, you guys. It doesn't mean that. We had one of my really good friends came to me and said, hey, I know I don't want to work the business, but do you mind if I get some wine? I'm like, are you kidding me? Here, let me help you out. Signed her up as a customer just like that. She's loving the wine. Increased it from getting 4 to 6. I mean, she's just moving on up the line. So everybody has a friend that loves wine that just doesn't want to be a part of the business, if they will. And that's what we offer that too, right, Jackie? We talk about the different opportunities to be a member or a customer. You're muted again, girl. I don't know what happened. You're muted again.
One more thing, Tanya, that I've learned recently.
Yeah.
I now know what to pair with emu. A friend of mine's sister, before she died, was allergic to red meats, red meats and pork. So her daughter ordered some stuff. It was emu and ostrich and duck, I think. Well, you pair a Syrah with emu.
Syrah, okay. I don't think have I ever had emu, right?
No, we're not.
Pairs with emu and ostrich.
I've had
I didn't know what to pair with.
Ostrich eggs.
So I went out to one of the chats and said, hey, and they came, I had Googled and it came up Syrah, and that was the recommendation. And it was good, by the way.
Good. Rory says Pinot goes with it well too. There you go.
Well, Pinot's the go-to with anything wine.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Anyway,
Okay, guys. Well, Jackie, are you back?
I know, Austria.
All right. I love talking with Jackie. We really enjoy our Saturday chats here. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end it off, I believe. Rory's gonna get ready for the train. I want to give you guys all like a 10-15 minute break to have a snack, gear up, get your pages ready, get your notebook by the side in case you don't go as fast as he is. But he goes pretty decently for you guys to follow along. Again, I highly encourage you guys to follow along with him and do this as well. Let me stop this live 1 second. Oh yeah, you do have to do it.